find the exact words, to find the perfect words, to say less but to say more.
20-year-old Jesse Onfroy, known as rapper XXXTentacion, has been shot, apparently targeted while shopping for a motorcycle.
This is something that has really stunned fans.
On the 18th of June 2018, Jesse Dwayne Ricardo Onfroy, more commonly known as XXXTentacion, was pronounced dead. This is his legacy.
Born and raised in Florida, growing up wasn't easy for Jesse. He had a challenging relationship with his mother for numerous reasons, and his dad wasn't around. As a boy, he would go to the lengths of starting fights at school so that his mother would give him the attention he craved. As a result of his tiring relationship with his parents, Jesse would move from home to home with various relatives, friends, and also claims he was at one point homeless, saying the only person that was there for him was his grandmother. The darkest known moment of Jesse's childhood was walking in on his uncle who had committed suicide. He was only 6 years old when he saw someone he cared for hanging from a noose. Words don't do justice how incredibly traumatizing this must have been. On the No Jumper podcast, X mentioned how as a child he was utterly lost and numb. All the other kids had dreams of being a firefighter or becoming the president. But whenever people asked Jesse what he wanted to be, he didn't have an answer. This lack of direction, amongst a number of other factors, led him to living a life of crime.
Jesse wouldn't finish high school, getting kicked out for being too violent, and eventually ended up being incarcerated for a myriad of reasons, such as armed robbery, armed burglary, illegal possession of a firearm, armed burglary with dwelling, resisting arrest without violence, and there's more.
And this is not me being cool. This is not me saying this shit is okay. We don't condone this shit. I was just fucking up.
Whilst in juvenile detention, he met the now known Ski Mask the Slump God, who had become one of Onfroy's best friends and a frequent collaborator. It was in this time period that Jesse nearly beat a gay inmate to death. X told the story in his interview on the No Jumper podcast. The story was obviously controversial and he was labelled homophobic by many as a result of this. I would tell you the story, but I feel like it's better if he tells you himself.
There's the fake story and then there's a real story. So I'll tell you how it began. So they came to me after they kicked him out his room and asked me if they could put him in my room, and I looked at them and I laughed and I was like, y'all can put him in my room, but if he does anything I disapprove of, I'm gonna kill him and I'm not gonna give you any warning. And I said it just like that, and I put it on my life. I said it like that, and they was like, all right, that's fine. As long as he don't touch you, you shouldn't have to put your hands on him. And I was like, all right, that's fine. So they put him in my room. First few days he was straight, he was cool. He read his books. I stayed in my corner. He did his thing. You feel me? He asked me a few questions. That was fine. Like I said, I'm not homophobic. One day he just got sus. He was staring at me type shit. He was staring at me throughout the day, and bro, jail makes you crazy.
Yeah.
I was fucking ask him. There was days where I'd slam my head on the fucking door for no reason. I just wake up and
just because you want to feel something. What the fuck else are you gonna do?
And there's crazy people in there.
Yeah.
We had this one kid that would just sit there and listen to the walls and think he's listening to music.
So he's staring at me type shit. So I'm like, yo, I warned you. And long story short, I was gonna kill him type shit because of what.
Now, I should preface what I'm going to say by making it clear. The way he acted was way too over the top, and the extent to which he supposedly beat this man up was too much. However, the inmate who was allegedly gay had been moved to different cells multiple times, so he obviously made a lot of the other inmates feel uncomfortable with how he acted. Secondly, the inmate is in prison for a reason. How bad the reason was is unknown, but he could have been a dark and twisted individual. Furthermore, Jesse told the guards before they moved the inmate in with him that if he felt threatened, he would retaliate. And with the prison knowing that this particular inmate had made multiple others feel uncomfortable, there was a good chance of this happening, and they therefore could have prevented the situation. Like I say, his actions were unacceptable and should not be excused, but I feel like to label him homophobic is unfair. Of course, I don't know for sure, but my feeling is he didn't beat up the inmate because he was gay, he beat up the inmate because he felt under threat. Whilst in prison, it seemed Onfroy started to realise he didn't want to live this way for the rest of his life and started to create music. It was whilst in juvenile detention he uploaded his first song to SoundCloud in the summer of 2013, titled News/Flop.
Looking for a brighter season, need to lay a burden down. Hey there, you drowning in a helpless feeling, buried under deeper ground.
X would continue to create music. Vice City is the title of X's first official song on his SoundCloud page, currently sitting on 31.5 million plays. It was posted 4 years ago and is seen as a classic to many of his fans. Within the song, X speaks on his relationship with death, what is happiness, and how he wants to stay away from crime, and how music can help him do this. This song was a very early sign of X's ability to cross genres. He would continue releasing music on SoundCloud for the next year and managed to build a cult following of fans. Then, in late December 2015, the producer he collaborated with, Rojas, would upload Look At Me to his SoundCloud page, and Jase's life would change forever.
I bitch, you was your mess. Can't keep my dick in my pants. My bitch don't love me no more. She kicked me out on life, bro.
Everybody stop real quick. It's not even about me no more. It's not even about getting no more. It's about all of us. We came here, we had a good ass time, and that's what matters.
However, his problems with the law did not change.
On August the 9th, 2016, X loses his case and is finally arrested for his robbery and assault charges. He was held at Broward Regional Detention Center in Fort Lauderdale. However, he later agrees to house arrest, and this is where his greatest controversy arises.
XXXTentacion. Let's talk about him for a little bit because now they have obtained, according to Pitchfork, they have a 142-page transcript of testimony by the reported victim of XXXTentacion, and that woman, he has been charged with aggravated battery of a pregnant woman, domestic battery by strangulation, false imprisonment, and witness tampering. He could, if he gets convicted on all 4 counts, spend a substantial amount of time in prison. His trial is going to start next month, starting October 5th.
The testimony comes from his alleged victim, who shared grim details accusing X of frequent and extensive abuse during the course of their relationship. Pitchfork obtained excerpts from the transcribed 142-page deposition that gives a chronological summary of what she described.
I feel like they scared of me. Gang banging, you know what I'm saying? When people look at me, they don't understand why I'm as big as I am. A lot of people don't like my ego. A lot of people don't like me. And a lot of people is not as original as I am.
6ix9ine's story is probably one of the greatest ever told.
The eyes always been on me. Nobody really knows Tekashi 6ix9ine. I'm number #1.
How does this kid go from sleeping on the floor to not even be able to buy diapers for their child, become the biggest superstar in rap, and after that you throw it all away and end up in jail? We're gonna explain how a poor kid from Brooklyn became a viral superstar and crafted the persona that captivated the country. You're a product of your environment. So to really get to know 6ix9ine, you got to go back to when he was just Danny, a boy facing tragedy growing up in the streets of Bushwick, Brooklyn.
Growing up in Bushwick is just, regular street shit. Like, if you from New York, you already know how Brooklyn give it up, you know what I mean? There's cops on every corner and all that bullshit. I'm from Brooklyn, 18 Locust Street.
So you grew up in Bushwick your whole life?
Yeah. My mom came in from Mexico.
And where was your pops?
I knew my real dad. Came into my life when I was 2.
Got it.
Got murdered when I was 13 in 2010.
Jesus Christ.
Like, I type hate myself for that shit, because, like, an hour before that, like, my dad asked me to go to the supermarket with him, and I was like, no, I don't want to go, just go. Never came back.
When you have turmoil, when you have losses, when you have stuff like that, people tend to do different things to kind of, like, replace it or to kind of get over that hurt. And I felt like, you know, he was a hurt kid, you could see it.
After his father was killed, 6ix9ine never made it to high school. He took the name Tekashi from a local tattoo artist because he thought the name sounded dope. The 6ix9ine is provocative and about seeing things from different perspectives.
What do you see?
I see 9.
I see 6. What do you see?
6.
What I see?
9.
What did you see before?
9.
What did I see?
6.
When did you actually start rapping, like, in your mind? When did this whole journey begin?
Well, I started rapping for fun, to be honest with you. I didn't really want to be a rapper or whatever. I just started making music because everybody was just like, yo, you look mad cool, like, you know what I mean?
When you seen this guy literally covered all over with 6ix9ines, and you saw a few face tats, and the hair, not just one color, is like 7. This is the most extreme attempt to be where rap seems to be going.
You know, the rainbow hair, the face tattoos, I think that his look clearly gets people to like go, who the hell is that?
Yeah, I look like a savage.
Before long, 6ix9ine had developed a persona to go with his image. Just personally, if he's in his room, like, he'll make everybody laugh, like he's that type of kid. But then you see him and you can see, like, I don't know if he's getting into character or that's just a hidden side of him. But when you would see him in the Gummo video, you see shouting and he's like throwing up gang signs, and he would almost become someone else.
There was Daniel Hernandez and there was 6ix9ine. Danny was this very shy person, very mellow, very scared person, and who 6ix9ine is a very loud person.
The 9 Trey Gangster Bloods, or 9 Trey, is a gang that was formed in Rikers Island in 1993. The gang is organized into the prison lineup and the street lineup. There's Godfather, High 020, Low 020, and then generals, 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, 1-star. Tekashi's original manager grew up with Seiko Billy. Seiko was a 5-star general. Tekashi wanted to shoot this video, and he shot it at Seiko's aunt's house. Seiko got everyone there, and was when Tekashi first met everyone in 9 Trey orbit, including Shotty.
We just get started.
Everyone in the neighborhood knew Shotty. They knew what he was, they knew what he stood for, they knew what he was about, including Danny.
Shotty came around, was able to read that temperature and identify that there was something special happening.
Once Shotty realized and saw the potential that Danny had in terms of captivating the industry and making money, they kind of gelled and built a relationship off of that.
You believe in somebody when they believe in themselves. Like, again, he's a genius. He's a genius when it comes to the marketing, promotion-wise. He's just a genius.
After that, Shotty became his manager. Shotty was the only person that I saw around 6ix9ine that never looked at him as the little homie. I remember a vivid conversation of Shotty saying, "This is the boss man right here. What the boss man says goes."
He's always been the same person he is today. He's just a great person, a great individual.
When he first introduced me to Shotty, he was like, "This how I'm good in the city. I can go anywhere I want because of this dude." Like, I'm like, "Okay, so Shotty official?" He was like, "Yeah, he official."
Now, beefing, man, that's like essential when trying to drum up publicity or some type of attention. But 6ix9ine would surround himself with like real shooters because, you know, beef, even though it works in hip hop, it could also get mad real.
We're talking real gangster to real gangsters. So you have to have real gangsters around you now. So now the real gangsters behind him, now they start bumping. Now that's when gangster shit start happening.
Whole lot of gang shit, bitch.
You're going 70 miles per hour. How long would it take you to drive 70 miles?
70, nigga?
Oh, why? Why 70? Explain to the camera why 70.
Because 1 times 70, 70.
Well, who the fuck said anything about 1? Where did 1 come from? You're going 70 miles per hour.
Oh, 1 hour.
Oh!
Lil Pump isn't just a genius. He is God, okay? When you die,
this is what you're going to hear.
When I watch your videos, when I first started seeing your videos, I was like, I'm buying into the image. I'm like, yo, this little nigga's crazy. Like, he don't give a fuck. But as I started watching more of the videos, I was like, yo, this kid is smart. You know what I mean? I wasn't sure, but I was like, yo, this kid is smart. You know what I mean? Like, the more I looked into the videos, I'm like, yo, he knows more than what people might think he does.
Before Lil Pump would blow up on SoundCloud and release his debut self-titled mixtape with songs like Boss, Flex Like Ooh, DeRose, Molly, and of course Gucci Gang.
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
Before picking a fight with J. Cole, getting a cosign from Lil Uzi Vert, and collaborating with the likes of Lil Yachty, Chief Keef, 2 Chainz, Gucci Mane, Rick Ross, and of course Smoke Perp.
Obviously, you know, Lil Pump, that's my brother, like. That's dead ass my brother.
Before Lil Pump was dubbed the Trapper of the Century at the age of just 16.
Smoke Perp, aka Lil Water, you know how the we coming. Shout out Cole Bennett.
Before he built up a following of over 4 million on Instagram, where he shares glimpses of his Xanax-fueled lifestyle, posing with money, guns, and a whole lot of cough syrup. Lil Pump grew up in South Florida, a serious troublemaker who sold and used drugs and got kicked out of virtually every school he ever attended. He got kicked out of one middle school for beating up a girl, and kicked out of an Opportunity High School for apparently starting a riot.
He started a riot. They closed the whole school down. There was helicopters in school and was getting stabbed and
They had K9s and
While Lil Pump loved listening to rappers like Chief Keef and Lil B, he never really planned to becoming an MC himself until 2016, when it was already beginning to happen for him. Basically, the rap career, it fell into his lap, and it probably never would have happened if it wasn't for his close relationship with an older boy he met when he was just 13 years old. Lil Pump was born Gazzy Garcia on August 17, 2000.
yeah. I don't like telling people my age. You feel me? But just know,
Just say it, bro.
Just know that I'm a your no matter how old I am.
Gazzy was born in Miami, Florida, and grew up in Miami Gardens. Now, not a whole lot is known about his early childhood, but I did find out when he used his first cuss word.
So when I was like 8 years old, my mama was like, "Boy, go do your homework." I was like, "I is do my work."
Also on Instagram, he shared this picture of his elementary school. Okay, that's probably not his actual school, and it's hard to trust the lyrics of his song Elementary, in which he describes his formative years like this: "I've been selling bricks since elementary, I've been hitting licks since elementary." But we do know that Lil Pump had been listening to rap songs before he got into freestyling, and looked up to artists like Chief Keef, Lil B, and Fredo Santana. Now, we have done it before they were famous on Chief Keef, it needs an update, and we haven't done Lil B or Fredo Santana, so maybe I'll get to work on those. In fact, Lil Pump got into some serious trouble back in middle school, and it all started because of a Chief Keef song. Pump was listening to the track Don't Lie, and a girl decided to give him a hard time for it. She put gum in his hair, and his response was, well, I'll let him tell it.
I got up and I beat the out of that bro.
Now, in that interview, Lil Pump continued that this isn't something he would usually do, so let's move on. When he was 13 years old, Lil Pump's cousin, Lil Ominous, introduced him to Smoke Perp. While the two eventually became co-collaborators on a ton of music, they originally bonded playing ball and doing dumb shit like breaking windows and causing trouble.
and this was smoking like a grown ass man, but this like he was
I was like 12, bro.
He was like 13, but he was smoking like a grown ass man, and I was like, what the
His bad boy ways got him kicked out of all the public schools in his district. He was then enrolled in an Opportunity High School, but got kicked out in the 10th grade.
I didn't even get to enjoy high school. 9th grade, I went to Opportunity School. I got kicked out 10th grade. Just like fighting, dumb shit.
Now, if you don't know what an Opportunity School is, it's halfway between a high school and a prison, complete with security guards, pat-downs, and metal detectors. Regardless of all that, Lil Pump still managed to start a riot, which included helicopters and canines.
I'm on that gang. It's all the here, man. You feel the gang going on.
Smoke Perp is 3 years older than Lil Pump and would eventually get him into rapping, but originally neither of them wanted to be rappers. Lil Pump had no plans on being part of the music industry at all, and Smoke Perp set his sights on working behind the scenes as a producer. He taught himself how to use FL Studios by watching YouTube tutorials and had trouble finding rappers willing to use his beats. So he started rhyming over his own beats as a means to move his music, and eventually he encouraged Lil Pump to do the same. Lil Pump would freestyle from time to time, but was hesitant to actually record. As I said, he really didn't plan on becoming a rapper, but eventually Perp convinced him to give it a shot.
And then he was like, nah bro, you better record right now. And then he just dropped the beat and I just freestyled that and I released it.
The track Pump was uploaded to SoundCloud, but the boys still weren't taking it all that seriously. They had other ways of making money, like Lil Pump's gig dealing Xanax. But then they looked online and their numbers were starting to climb. He would later tell XXL, after I released it, it had like 10,000 views. I couldn't believe it. That shit is nothing now. Then it started to go up and now it's at 6 million. Just seeing everybody with me, I was like, why not? With his newfound fame, Lil Pump decided to change things up, dyeing his hair blonde and pink. Which makes me question why he got so mad at the girl who put gum in his hair. I mean, later he'd be sporting that look. Anyway, meanwhile, his social media began to take off. He would entertain his fans with some pretty outlandish posts, which resulted in his Twitter account being suspended twice. Other bad news would come when some dude got a hold of his backpack.
I got his passport. Shut it, yeah. Ain't this you, Pump?
And that's how we know his name. But by now, Lil Pump had too much going on to care about a few haters. He was touring the country performing on stage, he got some love from XXL, making his pledge for the 2017 freshman class. He didn't make the list, but is considered a serious contender for 2018. Lil Pump released the single DeRose and Boss in early 2017, which were major hits, racking up a collective 85 million streams. The music video for DeRose was produced by Chicago-based Cole Bennett, who has also worked with the likes of Famous Dex, Lil Xan, Ski Mask the Slump God, and Trippie Redd. But his most popular video on YouTube is Lil Pump's DeRose, which was released on January 30th, 2017, and at the time of this recording, has over 74 million views. Now Lil Pump has money coming in, and from what I've seen online, no shortage of chicks. He plans to becoming the biggest rapper out there, and because he doesn't sound like anyone else, he's confident he can take over the game. As for the rest of the story, well, we'll have to wait and see, because this is before they're famous.
Just as the beef with Casanova blew over, in June, there was another incident.
Chief Keef was in New York. Tekashi didn't very much like that. He and whoever did pull the trigger went out to Midtown, fired a gun, shot at Chief Keef.
Somebody shooting at Chief Keef in the middle of Midtown Manhattan is insanity.
Midtown Manhattan, that's a no-no. He was also going out, getting into disputes in different cities, and he started believing that he was indestructible.
With so many beefs under 6ix9ine's belt, he kind of became a liability. Live shows are being canceled left and right. He couldn't get nothing going in the US. Like, no one even wanted to look in his direction.
You know, these venues are scared of you. Because right now, as we all know, these venues don't want nothing to do with me.
They are scared to give niggas deals when there's too much gang around. Because it's like, whoa, something bad's gonna happen.
Venues don't want the problem, because if this rapper comes in, God forbid, like a Tekashi 6ix9ine, and he shoots someone at your venue, well, then the venue is going to get penalized.
He was starting to do those big numbers, but now enjoying the power and the luxury of kind of commanding dudes to do whatever. It's like you get to a point where once you got the money and fame, you want that credibility and like street presence almost.
Tekashi definitely took on the ultimate power of feeling like, yo, he had goons now. 100%. Just being able to do it. He's never had muscle. He's never probably been even in the position of boss like that.
You could see that it changed him a bit. The people around him like had a quite influence on him after he grew up.
It's not so hard to find me. It's not hard to find me. It's not hard.
When 6ix9ine came back to the US from the World Domination Tour, he was so hot in the game, everybody wanted to work with him.
We got Kanye West, Nicki Minaj, Lil Baby.
Even when they were shooting people, every record that he was dropping would automatically touch Billboard. When something's hot, people try to embrace it and get near the fire.
In advance of his album release, he dropped Fifi, his collab with Nicki Minaj, and the record shot to #3 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts.
It's #2 on Apple Music. Like, it passed Drake.
The same day, the video for Fifi dropped, the Gangsta Life finally caught up with 6ix9ine.
Gang, 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 gang. I need everything, nigga. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get in the car. Give me your money. Get in the car, nigga.
He July 2018 robbery and kidnapping of Tekashi.
So you know Tekashi 6ix9ine, the rapper, the singer? Yeah, they just kidnapped it. 2 guys with guns.
We're at a red light, and a car just smashes the whole back of the car. Like, I froze. Doors swung open. Run everything.
I'm glad everything is all right. I'm glad everything's okay. I'm glad everything's all right.
The king of New York still stands. That's all that matters, man.
I saw the bruises. The bruises were real. It was like, yo, I thought I was gonna die.
It came from the inside. The only people that could got next to me is the people that's already next to me.
He got a little bit paranoid, but he still felt like he was protected from Shotty.
My energy is too crazy. So you took it to Treyway.
But Shotty couldn't protect him from what was actually coming next.
While Tekashi is living it up in Dubai, shooting the stupid video, an apartment he is in the process of moving out of on Kingston Street in Brooklyn is raided by the police.
They raided his house and they found a AR, which is an assault rifle, and they found a stolen bag. Turns out the feds was building a case against the 9 Trey Bloods for several months.
One thing I fear in life. No, 2 things. No, I'm not gonna. I fear God and I fear the FBI.
Despite the raid, 6ix9ine was still standing with Shotty and 9 Trey.
Shotty, I want you to give him that strong Treyway. 1, 2, 3, Treyway!
But a month after that, everything changed.
What is really Treyway? Treyway is nothing without me. If 6ix9ine wasn't mentioning Treyway, would Treyway even be a thing?
Kidnapping, FBI raid, the drama in Philippe Chow. I mean, 6ix9ine kind of knew if he didn't make some drastic changes, he'd end up dead or in jail.
And he didn't want to seem like he was that close to the gang anymore.
I don't want Jack Treyway no more.
He went on the Breakfast Club. He said, yo, everybody on my team's fired.
Treyway is nothing without me.
You fired Trey too?
Everybody is gone. Get out of my life.
I spoke to him the day before Breakfast Club. He like, Che, everything is cool, everything is cool. And I just remember being stunned and being like, I just spoke to this kid last night.
So you and Treyway not even cool?
I'm done.
6ix9ine completely cut off 9 Trey, and he was trying to repair his image and push on with his career.
Everybody know me for giving back to just people that's less fortunate. I was understand.
According to Shotty, the feds had already reached out to him even before the Breakfast Club. That would make the most sense why he started to disassociate himself, because yeah, shit was getting real.
The cops brought him in and told him, there's a threat on your life. These dudes are about to try to kill you. Do you want us to protect you? And he said, nah, I'm good.
Today, it was revealed Tekashi is a part of the 9 Trey gang.
On November 18, 2018, 6ix9ine was arrested along with his manager Shotty and several other members of 9 Trey.
I found out that night. It was like, yo, they just got Shotty, and they said they just got Tekashi. I didn't sleep that night.
The rainbow-haired rapper faces 9 federal felonies, including racketeering, firearms charges, narcotics trafficking, and violent crimes in aid of racketeering.
RICO means a racketeering, influenced, corrupt organization.
RICO is the easy way for the feds to arrest all the members of a gang without tying each member to a specific crime.
When Tekashi's first arrested, he pleads not guilty. The counts have a minimum of 47 years in prison. The only way to get less than 47 years in prison is to cooperate.
A lot of these guys always say, oh, I'll never tell on anyone, I'm never going to snitch. I've talked to hundreds and hundreds of guys, and 90 to 95% of them talk.
Literally the day after he was arrested, he began considering cooperating.
You know, I got word from somebody inside. They called me and was like, yo, Tekashi got moved. If you get moved at this point, it's almost a guarantee that he's going to start cooperating. I didn't believe it at first. Some of his biggest records says he won't talk, he won't snitch.
I'm hurt. I'm like, you know, I didn't think he for not 1 second he would cooperate.
When 6ix9ine pled guilty, he gave the feds details of several violent attacks, all was directed against 6ix9ine's industry enemies.
2 different people in this world, street and civilian. If you are a civilian, incorporate the police when you need them. But when you are in the street, when you are a gang member, you cannot, under any circumstances, involve the police.
I've never ever understood a code of conduct for criminals who can't obey the regular rules. But hip-hop has always been about the streets. And in the streets, you don't talk, you don't snitch.
I think a lot of why you're not seeing a lot of support is because of the narrative of Tekashi being a snitch and telling and being a rat. Nobody respects that.
Being vulnerable and paranoid and getting locked up, and then you hear of someone planning to kill you.
But now he gotta get violated.
I started to see signs of why he made up his mind to talk about it.
I don't want to be a superhero. I want to be like, I want to be a villain. The villains never die. Superheroes always die. I'm a villain. Fuck being a superhero. I ain't trying to save shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to save nothing. I'm destroying anything that's in my way. A lot of people try to help. And there is like a puzzle, right? I'm a puzzle, you're a puzzle. You're missing pieces. I'm missing more pieces than you are, but I'm giving you my pieces to help you. That's what a superhero does, and that's what my father did. My father always, if he didn't have it, he would try to help you, but he was hurting himself. You know what I'm saying? And my pops was always that good person. Like, he was helping people without thinking about himself. I can't help nobody, you know what I'm saying? That's not me.
The words that I find just don't seem to compare. Awaiting my death in the end.
Despite the controversy surrounding him, this album gained him so much more respect because he opened up about his deep and inner feelings and thoughts. The music on this album will really live forever, and the way it touched so many people's heart is portrayed by some of the incredible figures the songs made, especially Jocelyn Flores, which was the title song from that album, which has got over, what is it, Joe, 450 million as of today, says Joe. It's 454, and I got it right, boys.
With months from being in and out of jail, house arrest and trials for his previous charges, on the 26th of March 2018, X released his second studio album called Question Mark. This album features some of his old high energy music and the new popular style from the album 17. And this album got to top of the Billboard charts just over a week later. This was a massive success for X and SoundCloud rap.
Just after Question Mark was released, X was straight back to making more music and planned to release 3 albums in 2018.
It's an AP, on the top to save a bitch, C-A-P-E, feeling like E.T., flying out of the Eddie, fucking on shorty, she better, casual, come when I added, I mean I'm better than better, maybe I'm lying, I'm sadder than most of y'all with the money and the freedom, nigga. What is money really worth if it ain't love? I'ma find a perfect balance, it's gonna take time. I heard shorty still in love through the grapevine, I heard shorty still in love through the grapevine.
During X's time, he often tried to display positive messages and always connected with his fanbase. No matter what people say or thought about him, he was always a generous, caring and thoughtful individual.
X created a video called the Helping Hand Challenge, where he bought loads of PS4s, TVs, clothes and many more items. He delivered them all to SOS Children's Villages in Florida, which is a charity to provide a family-orientated community offering healing, hope and home for children who have got an unfortunate start in life. He asked every single child what they would want to do when they are older and talks about their dreams. He also gives away every single thing he bought and sings anything the kids wanted him to. He later created his very own Helping Hand Foundation to support the kids from his area.
Okay guys, so I'm going to be starting a challenge. It's called the Helping Hand Challenge. And in this challenge, the way to participate in this challenge is basically whoever makes the most donations gets to meet me, spend a day with me, gets to go out to dinner with me, giggle with me, play video games, and get like a shout out and just something simple and maybe even $1,000 reward. It can be any form of person in need, even if it's like going to a shelter or just even feeding the homeless. Whoever does the most good, whoever I see does the most, documents it all, sends it to me, and then I'm able to see it, will win the challenge. It's called the Helping Hand Challenge. Hashtag the Helping Hand Challenge. That is what this video is going to be called, the Helping Hand.
And on October the 20th, 2017, X donated $100,000 to an anti-domestic abuse charity in an attempt to prove he is completely against the act. And also a month after that, he also hosted an anti-rape event at 2017's Art Basel in Miami.
Alright, let's say worst thing comes to worst, I fucking die, a tragic death or some shit, and I'm not able to see out my dreams. I at least want to know that the kids perceived my message
and were able to make something of themselves and able to take my message and use it and turn it into something positive and to at least have a good life. If I'm gonna die or ever be a sacrifice, I want to make sure that my life made at least 5 million kids happy, or they found some sort of answers or resolve in my life, regardless of the negative around my name, regardless of the bad things people say to me. I don't give a fuck, because I know my goal in the end, and I know what I want for everyone, and I know what my message is. So I just wanted to say I appreciate and love all of you, and I believe in you all. Do not let your depression make you. Do not let your body define your soul. Let your soul define your body. Your mind is limitless. You are worth more than you could believe. All you have to do is dream, and all you have to do is want to fulfill that dream and have the strength to fulfill that dream. Pain is a sign of progress. When you feel pain, there is progress. I love you all. Make sure you have a good day. And I really wanted to ask, because I found that even when I was in jail and just when I'm home, I think about, and I hate to be cliche or to bring her name up, but I think about the girl that passed away, the girl that killed herself, that I wrote a song about. Hold on, sorry, I'm making a turn. I find myself thinking about her a lot, and I find myself kind of being pessimistic, so I just want to know what's the best way to deal with it, because I feel so much, and it's like, to a degree, it's like I want to feel that pain. I want to always feel attached to her because I was the last person she saw, but at the same time, like, I want resolve for myself. So I want to send me answers, please. That's all I wanted to say. I love you guys. Have a good one.
So I'm not even gonna try to bring the energy up or anything like that. Today is June 18th, 2018. We originally had these guys. You guys probably know who they are. Adam22, Lil Xan, and obviously my co-host Keemstar. We originally were gonna have them on, to talk about them, any other ordinary mom's basement. But unfortunately, in light of what's happened today, if you guys haven't heard, I don't know, XXXTentacion passed away today, and it's just kind of really all anybody's talking about right now, and I don't know. They decided to come back on, and we're just gonna kind of just go with the flow and kind of talk about this.
So the 18th of June 2018 comes around, and the shocking news is broken to the world, stunning everyone in the music industry and millions of fans around the world. It was reported that at approximately 4 p.m. outside Riva Motorsports, XXXTentacion was shot in a drive-by shooting in an attempt of being robbed. Witnesses said he had no pulse at the scene and was not pronounced dead until about 2 hours after in an official police statement on Twitter. 22-year-old.
So we have later decided to not spread any light or give the people that did this horrendous act any time. All I will tell you is that it is believed that every single person involved in this incident is locked up and are in jail for a considerable amount of time. These people will probably not see their normal lives ever again.
X had been planning a charity event on the weekend after his tragic death, but fellow rapper and close friend Ski Master Slump God stated he would like to take over the event in tribute to his brother. The charity event was very successful, and other rappers such as Lil Yachty also attended the event.
A South Florida charity group honoring the final wishes of slain rapper XXXTentacion before he was killed. He was planning a food giveaway in Liberty City. So today, despite his absence, the event went on as planned. The charity group handed out bagged lunches to everyone at that event.
A few days after his death, his management spoke out and asked if fans could donate to his charity for Helping Hand to support the kids that X can sadly no longer provide for. It was also rumoured that Geneva Ayala, his girlfriend which he allegedly abused, was planning to completely drop all of the charges on X. Since his death, his music sales have exploded at a huge 1,600%. And he also broke the all-time streaming world record in one day with his song Sad, which actually got 10.4 million worldwide streams. This absolutely smashed Taylor Swift's record, which was held previously.
That is all we have to say on the legacy of XXXTentacion.
However, he will forever live on through his music. Long live X, what is real will prosper.
What's up, guys? I'm just here sitting thinking, sometimes I just feel like I do too much trolling. Sometimes I feel like I just do too much. And tomorrow's not promised, you know what I mean? And I feel like sometimes someone might get the wrong image of me. You could be here today and be gone tomorrow. X spread nothing but positivity. Nothing but positivity. Always called me on the phone. Danny, are you okay? Danny, yo, you doing this the right way. Just try to do more of this. Like, you could call me, talk to me, like, what's going on? Yo, fuck all that beef shit, fuck all that. Knowing that he was nothing but positive and nobody wanted to harm him, like, you know what I'm saying? There's probably like 100,000,000 people out there trying to kill me, and I just take like... Shit's crazy. R.I.P. to X.
I just don't know what to say. I guess I'm just making this because the information, what I just heard, was that he's passed.
Falling me down to sleep. Pray the Lord my soul to keep. Hope's not too light for me. Whoa.
Black people want equality. Everybody wants equality. And then they try and make this black power and make equality a whole different privilege. You cannot... You want to play game? Oh, okay. Alright, nigga. Oh, it's a beat. Oh, back up. Oh, that's my cue. No, don't hit that nigga, don't hit that nigga. He chilling. Alright, let's go down there.
Man, nice to meet you, dog.
Nice to meet you.
He's from Lauderhill. Hey, that boy. Alright, yo, I got a few things for you. What's going on? Are you a YouTuber? Huh? Yeah. Oh, I have a sneaker channel, alright?
Yeah.
So, what size are you?
That's all I got right now.
Long live X! Long live X! Long live X! Long live X!
It's gonna be fun. X or Young Dagger Dick?
Young? You want me to call you Young Dagger Dick?
Long live X! Long live X!
I believe in the human race, period, and I truly believe that anyone can be what they want to be. We need people to ideally take care of the world. We need good mothers. We need good fathers. We need
Lil Pump has gone from underground SoundCloud rapper to breaking into the mainstream with a massive hit nearing the top of Billboard and a lucrative deal with Warner Brothers. And with mainstream success comes mainstream money. When he's not riding a jet ski, Pump likes to get around in Lamborghinis and Maseratis. He also once bought himself a Porsche Cayman S, but we all know what happened with that. Lil Pump's got a big collection of name brand shoes, iced out jewelry, and wild tattoos. But he has a special interest in designer clothes and accessories. His wardrobe features just about every product Gucci's ever sold, including a t-shirt worth $800, a cardigan with a price tag of $1,350, and a backpack that retails for $2,590. He ain't just sporting Gucci. Lil Pump's also got a Versace robe and a collection of matching Louis Vuitton bags, shoes, and accessories. But hey, from the looks of things, he can easily afford it. Like many newly famous celebrities, pinning down Lil Pump's exact net worth is next to impossible. Some sites like Gazette Review estimate his net worth to be $150,000, while several others like CelebrityNetWorth.com, they peg it to be as much as $4 million. The website FamousBirthDeaths.com, they guess he's got $200K in the bank, while EmpireBooBooKitty.com, they think he's got $800,000. So no one really knows how much wealth he has, but it's obviously enough to get him into the exclusive Gucci gang.
Gucci
Gucci gang, 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 Gucci gang. Spread thin racks on new chain. My bitch love do cocaine. Ooh, I fuck a bitch, I forgot name. I can't buy me no wetter rain. Rather go and buy ball mains. Gucci gang, 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 Gucci gang. Spent 3 racks on new chain. My bitch love do cocaine. Ooh, I fuck a bitch, I forgot name. Yeah, I can't buy no bitch no wetter rain. Ooh, rather go and buy ball mains. Ayy, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. My lean costs more than your rent. Ooh,
Who am I? Someone that's afraid to let go. You decide if you're ever gonna let me know. Yeah, suicide if you ever try to let go. I'm sad, I know, yeah. I'm sad, I know, yeah. Who am I? Someone that's afraid to let go. You decide if you're ever gonna let me know. Yeah, suicide if you ever try to let go. I'm sad, I know, yeah. I'm sad, I know, yeah. I gave her everything. She took my heart and left me lonely. Came my block.